With the recent episode of The Bad Batch, I decided to build a MOC based off of that episode. And what I made here today is Tay-0's speeder. Well, we all know what happened to him. He kind of got more or less murdered, even though he's a droid. So I guess technically it's Tech's speeder now. So what I built here is the speeder itself, and then I just put some like dirt and stuff that was on the ground where the speeders were racing. Then we just have Wrecker here, the minifigure course, and Tech himself. I'm gonna show you everything I did for the speeder because it's pretty cool. And one thing is, don't expect to see a tutorial video for the speeder because it is really complex and I would not be able to build it twice. One thing I tried to do with this MOC is I did not try to sacrifice detail for structural integrity. In other words, meaning this build is really fragile and it definitely wouldn't pass Lego standards for a build because this thing could really fall apart at any moment. Like there's some pieces that are like just connected by a couple studs and it's not very sturdy at all. But as you can see, it's kind of like a two-tone design where you have this really beautiful turquoise color and then you have the orange down here. And I did add in a lot of greebling pieces. As you can see, this is a sticker right here I took from the Millennium Falcon set. And as you can see, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty sleek. It's obviously not 100% accurate, but it's pretty dang close. Starting off in the front, I saw they had this like pipe piece, so I made sure to add that detail. And they kind of had this like circle thing here that I added. And I'm really proud that I added this kind of like, I don't know, it's like kind of like the top of a tire thing, I guess, but it works really well in this MOC and is a really cool color. Something I'm not as happy about though is that the cockpit cannot easily open. It is like really cemented down because as you can see, this piece comes on top and I would have preferred to be able to like open the cockpit and put minifigures inside, but as you can see, it's like really also tight in there, so minifigures really wouldn't fit. I mean, they would fit, but it would be tight, but it doesn't open anyway. You would have to take a lot of pieces off to open that cockpit. I kind of just smoothed the bottom out with what pieces I had, and I really love how I made this area right here. I'm assuming this is like the engine and stuff, but it looks really cool. I kind of just like made some slope pieces going right there. Then at the back, it kind of slopes down, and then it's going to be basically the same thing on the other side. Obviously a little bit different because I didn't have all the same pieces, but I tried to make it pretty similar. I also took into consideration that this speeder has probably been through a lot and has definitely seen some nicks and stuff, so it's obviously not going to be the same way it was when it came right out of the packaging. Here's what it looks like from the front, and I am really happy with the way this build turned out. And I'm just holding it in my hand and I can just feel like creaking and like just moving, and this is just not a solid piece. So I'm going to put it back on to the build. Really quickly, just because some people might be interested, this is what I did for the ground, and obviously it's just like a dirt ground, but it turned out pretty cool. That's my interpretation of Tay-0's or Tech speeder. This is one of my first MOCs where I really just set all my pieces together, just saw what I had and built something out of what I had, and I really just went for the connection points. I mean, I just connected the pieces in any way I could so that I just stayed together. Obviously, this thing would not survive a drop test, but we're not going to be drop testing it anytime soon. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe for more MOCs and check out the video on the end screen.